What podcast?
Hey, we rolling. Listen, we rolling. Scrap ain't even in her seat. She don't know how to get there. She's real confused. Hey, we gotta. Get this on camera.
Did he say let's fucking go? What the fuck?
Hey, we gotta turn off the music or they gonna mute our whole podcast.
Dang, boy. Y'all got personal rollers?
Welcome to Trvy and Friends, where we smoke hand-rolled CBD weed. Yes, sir. CBD.
What does it stand for?
He
don't know.
Cannabinoid. Cannabinoid.
Hey,
What
Brice,
does CBD stand for? You heard my man. Listen, shout out the whole room full of people. How we go from one day with 6 people in here?
I'm about to retire again from podcasting. Jesus.
I'm about
Brice,
to ash all over their house.
There's a fucking ashtray, like right. Oh wait, no,
Nah, it
they
ain't.
took it.
It ain't.
Where's the ashtray? Niggas can't.
I was about to throw it to you.
Niggas just be ashing everywhere. Brice, can you hear me? We good?
Who?
You can pull up Chrome if you want and start like doing some research.
Oh, you mean like how I got this iPad right here?
Wow, bro. Okay.
That's cute.
Fancy.
I'm just saying, I brought shit. Listen,
is
endless
camera
shrimp.
one rolling? We good?
Is it on? Is it recording? Okay.
Recording.
Endless shrimp for $15.99 at Red Lobster.
Honestly,
Thanks,
that's
Trevor.
groundbreaking. I didn't know that was a thing. Are you serious?
It's right there.
$15.99?
Sriracha honey.
Oh.
That will, hey, yeah.
Yo, okay, wait. I need to poll the room. Who hit crystals in the all you can eat?
Nobody.
None of y'all.
Ain't
hit.
nobody trying to sit in there,
I
bro.
tried to go twice, but you wouldn't
Have
let me
you?
go.
Did you go?
No, have you?
No, hell no.
I tried to go 2 times, and Trevor was like, nah, fuck that.
I don't hate myself that
listen.
much. I hate myself a lot, but not
Out
that
of
much.
all the things that all you can eat, crystal.
That shit. And then you got to sit in there.
That's
Wow,
like kangaroo meat all night.
Hey, but that shit blessing, though.
Are y'all ready to start? We good?
We back.
All right, Brice, we rolling? Unique,
you
we
hear
rolling?
everyone?
Charlie, we good? Hello, Internet. We're back for round 2. My name is Goodie. I'm joined by Scrap, Turd Bergerson, and today our special guest is the king of the youth, none other than Kxng Blanco.
AKA, ooh, he nasty.
Hey, young sex symbol.
What's going on, man? How you been?
Yeah, man.
You good?
Yeah.
Feel good?
Really good.
Blanco today told me about how he's becoming a budding sex symbol.
Bro, and he be hating, bro. Okay, so look, I posted a picture from a photo shoot I did yesterday, and I put the snackometer. This nigga put the 0, like he put the emoji all the way down, bro. He's
So
lame,
the thing about
bro.
Trevor is,
I'm a
this
hater.
man makes a living out of being a hater, bro.
I'm not a hater. I love a lot of things.
You sure?
I just hate y'all.
Shout out to the hoes though, cause they brought it back up, bro.
The host brought the snackometer up.
They brought it back
Jesus.
up,
If
bro.
you was a snack, you would definitely be endorsed by Lil Debbie.
Gay.
For sure. Not
That's
Pillsbury.
gay.
Nah, bro.
Pillsbury.
You're a gafer. But
How
it's
many-
okay.
how many
It's
photo
the
shoots
game.
do you do a
the
month?
word gay.
You said what?
How many photo shoots do you do a month? You got a lot of photos.
Yeah.
Bro, they been, yo, man. I'm trying to raise my analytics up on the female end,
Clout?
bro. Man,
You chasing clout?
man, nah, I'm
That's the
chasing.
question everybody's asking.
I'm
bro.
chasing.
But that makes sense though. Like you get female fans, you get popularity, you get clout.
Okay, so
Yeah.
on any given day, how many females are in the DMs? Can we say that on here? Wait, hold on. Don't answer that yet, because we got to think about
We are not live.
how
for what's about to
mad they
happen.
gonna be.
I don't even, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. You said on a day?
On a day to day,
Day to day.
how many females slide into the clout meter?
Sure, I don't know, bro. Hey, man, I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't got hoes for real.
Wise man.
That's what someone
That's
says.
a-
It's got a
that's
lot of
a-
hoes.
that's a
so
good
it's
answer.
cool though, Blanco.
That's the best answer I've heard all week. Let me get that. You want to scrap? It's okay. This is the
ashtray.
podcast where you can smell. We just ashed on Goodie.
Oh, you guys are assholes.
Listen,
See, this is
Dang,
the second
bro.
episode in a row where Trevor has ashed on me. So
Listen.
I feel like this man.
Keeping the streak going.
listen. It's part of the allure of the whole like.
What are you talking about right now?
They like to watch me beat me, dog.
Anyway,
this is Trvy and Friends.
This is not Trvy and Friends. Listen, we got a couple of topics we're going to talk about. We got Brice over here doing some research. So where should we start? Should we start?
He looked at me. Listen, Uniqe on camera. He said, hey, dog.
Unique
Charlie
trying to
back there doing the same thing.
Hold the camera.
Listen, I'm gonna say this now. We got all the homies in here. Uniqe on camera, Charlie on camera, whole bunch of people in here, and it's gonna be a good podcast.
This is gonna be a horrible podcast.
Yeah, this shit finna go down the drain.
Yo, can we start? The first topic I need to know is why Goodie hates the Yodcast so much.
What do you mean?
Listen, everybody voted for the name Yodcast, and we went 8 balls. Is it because of the pool table?
Yeah, it's because of the pool table.
Marketing, better marketing tactics.
What we gonna do to we gonna play pool?
I mean, we're literally on a pool table.
No, but I'm saying when we expand, you trying to play pool together? You trying to take shots?
It's part of the mystery. It's the intrigue.
Bro,
what are we gonna do with this pool
I'm
table?
just asking, bro.
I don't know, dog. What you mean? I felt like 8 Ball was a good name. So we
listen. If anything, I just want the people to understand.
If we're gonna do a Yodcast, we gotta get all of the Yod here.
That's impossible.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't even know how they got all the GA pros to that photo shoot.
They didn't. We did, man.
How many? Okay, so listen. This is a good segue.
We asked Mac Boy how many people were in GA Pro, and this nigga was like, shit.
Yeah.
I seen it, bro.
Listen, so that's a good segue. How many people are in GA Pro?
Okay, I'm finna try that. Okay,
name them.
We got Kaz.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dictator.
Mm-hmm.
We got T1.
Mm-hmm.
We got Blanco.
Mm-hmm.
We got Squale. We got the 82 boys. That's 2 on. We got Anya J.
Oh, they in yard numbers right now. It's about,
Yeah.
they probably going all the way to 15.
We just talking about artists or just everybody?
Just everybody.
Okay, we got like three CEOs, and then we got Scotty.
So that's
like 13,
12, 13 people.
That's solid.
And y'all got most of them to a photo shoot. That's a good.
Oh my god.
That's a good feat, bro.
Bruh,
To get any team
I
of
feel like Scrap Guy yesterday. I was so stressed out over there.
Oh, did you organize it?
Something like that. Pretty much, yo.
It is stressful.
Man.
Blanco's out here learning he's out here doing engineering now.
Oh yeah.
You mixing.
Rappers are so rebellious, dude. It's hard to get them to do anything simultaneously.
It's like, bro, just come and
just show
stand,
up.
Show up,
show
bro.
up.
Just stand here, bro.
It's really just show up on time, and I don't mean 10 or 20 minutes late. Rappers that hit you up and be like, I'm gonna be there at 5, and then show up at 7:30 without ever texting you.
That's how I know Scrap has turned into a black person because she showed up 20 minutes late.
Hey.
Scrap showed up 20 minutes late.
Today, I showed up 5 minutes early today. You guys said 7 p.m. I pulled up at 6:55.
I was just shocked because Trevor was here before
mean?
you. Trevor was here before you, so I'm just like, wow.
I'm going to be honest. I was not trying to get here on time because Trevor was 45 minutes late last time.
Whoa,
and I was
whoa.
like, I'm not waiting around.
Whoa, hold on. All the
Is she
slander on my
lying?
It started
name.
over an
overslept in his
hour
trailer.
late last time. I wasn't trying to do that this time.
Nah, she's not lying.
This is slander on my name. I was at work. I have a job.
Nigga lying like
So
hell.
do we.
I know y'all do. I'm just saying.
Cool.
You know
Me
you
too.
ate all the streams.
Have y'all tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich yet?
Nah.
Bro,
I haven't.
I think
no.
I found a good substitute though.
A substitute?
A good
gotta know.
substitute.
What is it?
Checkers. They spicy.
Okay.
Listen,
All right.
bro.
Oh, you
Alright,
can't. Hold
on.
They
hold on,
spicy
hold on.
chicken
All right.
sandwiches. It made me cough, bro.
Listen,
It made me cough, bro.
you a young boy.
Okay.
I've been in this fast food game for a minute.
That's all he eats.
For a minute.
Okay.
Authority on fast food.
Checkers ain't it, bruh.
Chicken spicy chicken sandwich ain't hard.
Yo, Checkers just
bro.
ain't it.
When you broke, when you have no other option, and you just you're convinced that you don't want to go to McDonald's, Checkers is all you have. That's all you got.
I like their $2
Taco
chicken
Bell,
bite
bro.
box.
Listen, Brice is the only person that I've ever been in the car with about going to get food, and he said, "Let's go to Checkers."
And the
So that's how
pinnacle-
I know Checkers ain't it, because
Big
Bryce eats cardboard,
at
dog.
the pinnacle of Murder House, bruh. When we had 10 niggas in the house and we was barely keeping the lights on, somehow we managed to get through. Niggas was eating at Checkers 3 times a week.
Bro, when
Three
we was,
times a week, bro.
when I was staying in the hotel that
It
was
right
across from
from
Checkers.
Yeah.
That's the saddest.
That's
thing
why
I've ever
Checkers
heard.
ain't it, dog.
Man, hey, bro.
So maybe we
But
just
you
got
said it made
burnt
you
out.
cough.
Yeah.
So
Like,
did you try?
oh,
did
this
you
motherfucker
go
here.
get the Popeyes chicken sandwich? Or you just
I tried.
Are you just
I
shooting
tried
for checkers
twice.
because you
I
Were they
tried
sold
twice.
out or was the line just
sold
crazy?
out twice.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
did you feel?
Which they took them
I was like,
away.
damn,
That's
my
a
nigga
marketing
Trvy gonna be
strategy.
disappointed.
That's a
Yeah,
marketing
for sure.
I
strategy.
was disappointed. I wanted
Bro,
to see the end
it's
of that.
Popeyes, bro. They don't sell shit else but chicken.
How do you?
How do you run out of the chicken sandwich?
I also
Popeyes?
don't understand why it took them this long
Oh, you know what
to
it is?
bring the chicken sandwich there.
Oh,
Why
it's-
did it take
It's the
this
bread.
long?
It's the cost of bread, I bet.
That's
But that's probably what they ran out of. They
The
ran out of
cost
the bread.
I feel like bread is the cheapest thing
But the
there.
whole
Oh, bread is expensive,
Bro,
bro.
I don't think people would have been
But-
tripping though if it was like, hey, we got this, but
Yeah.
we got a different type of bread.
Well, yeah, but I think that they when they do it like on a marketing thing, they send.
Fuck that, we went for the chicken and the sauce. That's it, bro. I don't care about no bread, bro. The chicken, and you could have put that on a biscuit, bro.
But the bread
Facts.
makes it sometimes.
It's one thing for the stores to run out, but the whole company said that they ran out. Like the whole company ran out and they pulled the chicken sandwiches temporarily, which is what makes no sense.
Listen,
Other than
And when
marketing,
they pulled out,
obviously it's a
when
joke.
they pulled out, their pull-out game was really strong because it was saying, they said, if you want to find out when the chicken sandwich is coming back, download our app, our mixtape, everything. It was crazy.
Cap it. They got a mixtape.
No,
like
but if they
Hamburger
would have dropped the
Helper?
mixtape,
That-
that's where it would have been.
And it
That
would've went
Hamburger
viral.
Helper mixtape was fucking
It's
fire.
Oh yeah,
I don't
shout
care.
out Hamburger Helper's mixtape.
You go,
If you never
Glove.
heard that shit, that shit was hard.
I
It
really
was
feel
good,
like
it
y'all
was
being
good.
sarcastic right
Did
now.
you never
bro.
hear the Hamburger
never
Helper
heard it.
mixtape?
No.
Bro?
I listened to that shit while making Hamburger Helper. That was the first time I listened
Oh
to
my-
it. It was
And Scrap
dope.
has officially lost her black
Tried
card.
it. Oh,
She's back to a white girl.
That was short
She
lived,
was
but I
really in the
expected.
kitchen with
Have you
Hamburger
seen
Helper.
you had it for 5 minutes, Scrap.
Scrap started whipping her wrist.
I made
Oh,
good
shit.
Hamburger Helper. I don't.
Y'all
give a
ready to
fuck.
start this podcast?
Bell peppers.
We can start whenever, bro. I don't care.
What's our topic, Scrap? What's one of them?
Well, the chicken wars, which I think that we covered
The chicken
fairly
wars.
well.
I like
it is called the chicken wars because. So Popeyes came out with their chicken sandwich, Chick-fil-A's firing back, and then KFC is like, we're gonna put out a chicken substitute. KFC now has
That's a real thing.
non.
Oh yeah, it
chicken,
sold out in
chicken.
4 hours.
I thought that was
Man.
fake.
No.
That's real?
That was part of the chicken wars.
Can y'all help me understand what's up with these restaurants trying to pick up their vegan food?
Well,
All right,
I
so
mean,
good thing we have a vegan in the room. Where is he? Oh, Trent's not even in here.
oh
Damn.
wait, you're
Oh.
vegan, aren't you?
Oh, Unique's vegan too?
shit.
Okay. So
Okay, explain.
explain to us, like, what made you go vegan and how long have you been vegan?
Well, I've been vegetarian for it was like a year and 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I just cut out dairy for the past like month. So I've been vegan technically just for like a month, but like
Okay.
been doing the non-meat thing for a while.
You hungry?
Right. I know you hungry, bro.
Hey, bro, look at my dad bod right quick.
Okay.
Look at my. How they go? Listen, how KFC go drop a vegan thing? Did you see that? And then that's the next thing they drop.
Bro.
Oh,
a
yeah.
macaroni bowl with chicken
thing
and
is-
cheese all over.
And they
it.
got a spicy version. These niggas tripping, man.
Chick-fil-A got mac and cheese. I heard it was trash, bro.
I heard it
I
was
heard it was
busting.
good. Yeah.
I heard it was
Oh,
trash.
they sold out.
I
So
was told it was
so
good.
They sold out
KFC
the-
did the same thing. They sold out.
Wow.
That's what. Yeah.
Cap, bro.
Wow.
Cap.
But I think they only did that in Atlanta. How they only gonna do that in Atlanta too?
That's kind of fucked.
I ain't gonna count. Last week, Anya tried me up. She tried me up.
How?
I was at the studio, right? Locked in. I was like, hey, since you on the way, can you bring me some food? I'm finna die.
Oh no.
She like, no, bro. She like, yeah, I got you. But it's gonna be vegan. I was like, haha, stop playing with me. Right? She was like, nah, for real. I'm not finna spend my money on no food. I'm voting with my dollar with the Amazon, da-da-da. I'm like, bro, this
I
meat been
fuck with
dead,
it.
bro.
I fuck with
This meat been dead. If you don't buy it, somebody else gonna buy it, bro. Stop playing with me.
I
She
mean,
was in the Burger King line. Luckily, it was too long. If she would have bought me that Impossible Whopper, bro, I would have been hot. I would have been.
Please
hot.
still love us after this podcast, guys.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go the other way and be like, try the vegan stuff, bro. It tastes good. Try the vegetables.
Try the vegetables.
That's what it is.
It's really that's what it is, bro.
It's blessing.
Well, the vegetables they taste good.
When the last time you tried something vegan?
I haven't eaten meat in like 2 weeks besides one time.
When?
Being broke doesn't
all
count.
sound
Show.
like a lion.
Oh.
Man, I tried before, but the Amazon really fucked me up. Like seeing the Amazon on fire and knowing what's happening to the animals, really fucked me up.
But-
Like I was like sitting there like, damn, this is crazy. And then Tori was like, really like, this is wild.
What's crazy is like it took so long for people to like build awareness on that shit. Like apparently that shit was burning for like days and days and days, weeks before niggas even really like caught on.
Well, I mean, they do it periodically. Like, what were you about to say,
I was
Scott?
just gonna say, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't done the full research on this, but there are way bigger forest fires happening in Africa right now than even the Amazon, and that's really not getting touched on.
I
I
think
don't
the thing-
know if
no
those
love,
are
bro.
man-made or natural.
Well, the thing with the Amazon that's so strange is it has to do with their political climate.
Right, it's
too.
the
Like,
president.
Their president is notoriously anti, like, he doesn't believe in climate change.
I
or
heard
some
he was
shit
an
like that.
asshole.
He's-
How do you not though,
Come on, man. Donald Trump's our president.
bro? Who president?
Well, you know what I mean.
Oh,
He out here making rules for somebody.
golly, bro.
I remember the last time I like
But I'm-
cared about the law, like Donald Trump's type of law. That shit is crazy, bro.
Man.
And then the Texas. Okay, so just segueing into something off of that, it's like the shooting in Texas. The representatives came out today and they're just like, we will not put more restrictions on guns and all this crazy shit. And dude literally drove around in a whip with a fucking rifle and just shot people.
Well,
Hey,
what's
do you think
even-
that was like a political action? Though?
Well,
Like
what's
political
crazier
response?
about it is that he
I
was
got you.
like, he was in a, I guess he got stopped by, he was in a, like a
got a
stop
traffic
check,
stop.
a
Yeah.
traffic stop. So he got out of his car and hijacked a mail car and just like went joyriding down the highway, spraying
You talking about the
bullets.
little USPS,
Crazy.
like little white mail truck?
Shit
thing?
like that.
Something like that. I didn't see what
But that's
exactly it
like-
was, but
Talking about the politics of it, I try not to like. I mean, I know we all like have our wonder about conspiracy and what's happening and shit like that, but it's like just the fact that 7 people died
Yeah.
and like 21 people were injured.
All right, Brice, you're fired.
Brice is fired. Look, he tried to get that bitch so fast. But it's like even politically, like whatever we believe, whatever different people believe, 7 people died, dog. I
Right.
say 5 because last night it was 5 and then today it was 7.
Right.
So 2 more people died within like
and
12 hours.
21
Right.
injured.
A 17-month baby,
It was a 17-month-year-old baby that
got shot in
Got
the
shot in the
face.
survived.
Yeah.
Survived.
Oh, survival.
Yeah,
okay.
but
But
it's
still,
got
though, that's
shot
crazy.
in
That
the
baby
face.
now has to live its life like that person because they got shot in the face
Yeah.
as a baby.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, do you think so? Did the you said the governor came out like we not changing?
So the one of the representatives for Texas,
Okay.
like one of the state
was this
representatives.
after this happened?
Yeah, no,
Oh.
it's in response to this.
Oh, okay.
Like people
okay.
talking about needing gun reform and gun and change and stuff like that. It started trending on Twitter. The words "God given" started trending because people were saying. I think he said something like, "I will not impede on." My people's God-given rights, and it's like
on,
what, like
Jesus.
God-given, like
Everybody is born with guns.
that's
That's what he's saying. And
But
That's
he's
pretty much
basically
what he
saying you're born with by the grace of God, you were born and you should be able to have a gun. That's
I
like
think
what
this
some
one,
people
this
believe.
one was like an assault rifle, right? This
Yeah.
was like something serious, and that's the problem. Is like handguns and stuff are one thing. Assault rifles are a whole nother thing.
Right.
Like, why do you have an assault rifle that doesn't need to happen? Like, there's so many arguments for and against regular like handgun and protection. That's a whole nother discussion. But when you were able to just spray bullets down the highway with an assault rifle,
It's crazy.
that's
I
really
started
crazy.
laughing. I only started laughing because this is the first time in my life I seen Brice look so studious, man. Brice is
Brice
over
is
there
going
typing
in.
up a storm.
But I'm
Let
just
me-
like
let me
I'm
look
just
this up.
worried because I feel like gun reform isn't enough. When you look at the statistics, there's more guns than people in America.
But that's where you start, though. You start like, at least in this system, we all like. I mean, us specifically, us being like artist centric and like us kind of like leaning towards like just. I don't want to say socialism, but towards people like hanging out together and you know what I'm saying, like sharing certain values. We lean that way, right? And in the system, there's a whole nother side of people that lean the exact opposite. And the system is built on laws created by people that those people elect or however they get in there. You know what I'm saying? Corruption, whatever. But it's only like, it's our job to just be like, okay, maybe I think gun reform won't do shit. But that's the only way to change it in this system. Is to fight for that.
I agree with you, but I also disagree with you. It doesn't matter what kind of gun it is. If a person has evil in their heart, hatred in their heart, they're gonna find a way to hurt people.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the point,
I
though.
agree
The
Whether
point,
it's with a gun, with a knife, with a M16, with a handgun,
the whole
they're
point
gonna
of
do crazy shit.
the
I
whole-
think
Build a
it's, I
bomb
think it's
at
a lot
home.
deeper than gun control and
Of course
gun
it
laws.
is. No,
We
it
just,
is.
Niggas is just crazy.
Yeah.
Niggas is
No,
crazy,
it is,
bruh.
but that's the whole argument is like people who and it's funny because I guess I firmly believe that there needs to be some sort of gun reform or weapons reform almost like, and I say weapons reform because we have access to a lot of shit.
Niggas
Like,
can buy a lot.
I
of
can
shit,
buy a
bro.
fucking sword for no reason.
Bro, I was at fucking Dragon Con yesterday, bro. Every kind of blade you can imagine, bruh. Niggas had big swords, little swords, daggers. Niggas had shurikens, Batman stars, like all kinds of crazy shit.
Batarangs.
Batarangs.
Man.
Niggas had batarangs,
And that's the
bro.
thing. That's the thing. Like yeah, you can't. And what I'm not saying like, oh, take all that shit. I'm saying that like when it comes to guns are such a weird area because why do they exist for what? Protection. We say. You know what I'm saying? We say.
Right.
But it's like, why are they so
Well,
important to
they
people?
exist
Like,
because someone was attacking, and they still are here because someone needs
But
them
even
for
then,
defense.
the
So
bow
it
and arrow.
it started with like attacking, and now you have to defend because there are attackers, and that's why it gets so difficult and convoluted.
No,
because,
yeah. I get the fear of like
because
someone.
like Goodie said, the people that just want to hurt people are gonna get the guns.
Right.
Like that's gonna happen. It doesn't
No,
matter
I
how.
do.
So it's for me it's difficult. I'm not really saying one thing or another thing. I just think that it's really
I'm
difficult.
just
It's like London,
curious,
bro.
like
It's like London because, you know, guns are illegal in the UK. They had a fucking stabbing epidemic, bro. Niggas were like going on mass stabbings in London.
Yeah,
So they started to like ban knives. You get caught with a knife in London, you go into jail.
Well, that's all I'm saying. Like, that's an extreme thing. All I'm saying is like we got to evaluate the idea that I get it. I get that people will hurt people, but access to an assault rifle with like a 30-round magazine or whatever, however big you can make those motherfuckers, like. Why?
Yeah, I agree. That's why like things like that.
I
There's
wonder
no
what bro
there's
was
no
thinking
reason why
like
anyone
about
needs
10
one.
minutes before he left his house.
Oh, bruh, and that's the thing. You don't know. It could be a normal day, dog. It could be a normal day, and the craziest shit happened to you in 10 minutes. And then you just fucking...
Yeah, I want to know why this police stop. I guess because, I guess he had the gun in the car. He already had the gun, so the police stop was just like, well, I'm assuming he was just like, they're going to find out I have this gun.
But I
Yes,
mean,
I should go
you know
use
what
it. I don't know.
with
That's
traffic
what's
stops
crazy?
though, it's not like they finna go in your trunk. Like everybody trunk, you know?
right.
You know what I just
right,
realized,
well,
though? Going back to that, I don't know if... Does anybody know what race he was?
I don't.
So what's crazy about that is I
Golly, bro.
realized today
Does
that
that
my
change
timeline...
everything? Does that
well,
change everything?
Listen,
Nah, I knew it. I already
listen.
knew
My
what it was,
timeline
bro.
today has been like almost void of this. Like I only know about it because I was real time on Twitter when shit was crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. See, that's my problem. So now I feel like a conspiracy
That's what I'm
theorist
saying. So
because
where's
I
the
didn't-
response, bro?
Like I don't even like I haven't heard much about this other than what I went and looked for. You know how usually some shit like this happens and it's everywhere. You know, all of us have heard about it in almost an extensive way. Like we already know like what color they were, how old they were they an extremist? But I feel like today that didn't happen. That just blew my mind.
I just want to reiterate what Brigo said since he doesn't have a mic. Dude drove 650 miles to Texas. He's not from Texas. That does make this
well,
real crazy.
stop shooting
I don't know.
people.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, for
It's
no
bad. It's
especially
just
for no
bad. Don't
reason.
do it.
Yeah, but especially for no reason. You weirdo.
Yeah, like I don't
Just
get
say,
it.
I'm gonna
bro.
go outside today and shoot at people. For what?
I don't get it, man. It's crazy. I think in terms of like gun reform and that whole conversation, that's a conversation that I think has been had, like, or it's been being had since we were young. At least like, I almost feel thankful that I grew up in the Rock the Vote era, which is the like I didn't know shit about politics.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like, I don't know if it was Rock the Vote, but I know that it was like, it was one of those MTV initiated
So
voting thing.
Brice has pulled up a photo of the shooter
crazy.
from the Texas shooting.
And he's smiling. Why he ain't die?
No, I think he did die.
He did.
No,
The
he
police
got
killed
blasted,
him.
dog.
So is
Don't
this
get it twisted.
This looks like a mugshot.
Golly,
Is this a
about
previous
time.
mugshot? Did he get arrested before?
I mean, that sounds crazy. I didn't
I
mean
don't
to
know, it
laugh.
looks like it could be like a
I don't know.
faculty photo or something too, though. I
Slick.
don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. But all I was saying is, like, I'm thankful that I was, like, in the whole voting thing. Like, I don't know if I believe in the whole, like, system at all. But I'm thankful that we live in a world where we're brought to, like, this idea that these things do need to be talked about. Like us, homies, who typically only talk about music or what we're doing. Like, just the fact that we can have these conversations like that, it does mean that something at least has changed. Because, bruh, serial killers were a real thing, and they still are, but for a long time they kind of ran
Which
rampant.
technology kind of wiped them out more or less. But yeah, I've
And
thought
you
about
didn't
that a
talk
lot.
about it, like, at least not into the extension we know. Like we can say some shit to each other over like Twitter or text, but like, imagine when John Wayne Gacy was killing people.
I was finna say who's the worst serial killer to y'all?
Oh, Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Why?
Ted
Albert
Bundy
Fish.
was crazy, but
I think Ted Bundy gets me just because he was that, like.
Who is Ted Bundy?
it's
What did he
crazy
do?
that he like escaped.
I know who he is, but like what like how did he?
What's
How did
crazy
he go
about
about it?
him is
He was
that
like
he
this.
escaped out of jail he escaped out of jail and made it from like Washington State area to Florida to kill more people before they picked him up again. Which again, this is why
White people have been wilding
before
for years.
technology
For
was
years.
as updated as it is back then. Like that couldn't happen now. It just couldn't with our technology and what we know.
He confessed to 30 homicides,
Jesus.
but he was a serial killer and a necrophile.
Oh,
Dahmer,
he was a
Dahmer,
necrophile.
yeah.
I think
But-
Dahmer.
but-
But
I
Dahmer ate people.
and
Dahmer,
he
like,
ate them and fucked them. Like,
yeah, like there was more going on there.
Yeah, I guess they're both really bad. Like, all the serial killers are
Wouldn't it be
like-
so scary if like one day the government was just like, yeah, it's really been like this since day one, but we did have technology. So
It
we just
has
kinda-
been like this since day
but like,
one.
but like just as bad. But like, what if there was like multiple Ted Bundys, multiple Jeffrey Dahmers, like
I think
all
there
throughout
are.
the country, and we just never heard about
Bruh,
it?
I think there are. We live in a bubble. Like, no matter what anybody wants to think, you live in a bubble of the people you know and the people they know, and then maybe the people they know.
I was
And
definitely
plus-
thinking that. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we can see now there's so much timing with what news is released when to cover up what other news is being released.
Yeah, that's a big
So
thing.
that's constantly working against us,
Right.
honestly.
And I was thinking that when you were saying like how we over here and there's people all the way over there, but we never really see them.
Bro, no, there's like somebody like doing something wild right now. Like somewhere close to us.
Right.
Like it's just one of those things where like I think it's just we there, bro. Like we now know that like everybody is like on social media and stuff like that, but there's so many people who don't. There's so many people who don't use social media. There's so many people who don't like engage in society. Like
I really talking about this. I really want to segue into Dave Chappelle and people being so upset because I watched. I didn't
still
watch
ain't
this.
heard
I haven't seen the full special yet, but I watched the clip where he's talking about that French actor, so that I could get some understanding.
Wait,
and then I read about
Jussie Smollett.
yeah, and then
There you go.
I read about like that dude's whole case and everything going on. You said people are offended, and I mean,
Oh,
I
bruh.
don't get
Yeah,
offended
they-
easily,
give me
but
the
at this
rundown.
point,
you and
I
me
can't
use
find it.
Twitter.
I don't know why people are offended, honestly.
Listen,
I didn't
I'll pull
understand,
it up,
I guess.
But like what it is like
Straight facts. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
okay,
what I
this
This
didn't
nigga Dave
understand.
Chappelle was spitting straight facts,
okay.
bro.
So this is what it's gonna be, at least in my eyes. Like there's a us. You know, there's us and our culture and the culture that we partake in, right? That's like hip hop, and it's like popular culture a little bit, and a little bit of like a lot of that, like all that going on. So we have to admit that there's a lot of different cultures in the United States, right? There's a bunch of different groups of people that believe the same things and that have a lot of groupthink. Well, with Dave Chappelle's thing is the people are offended because they say that his jokes are outdated. You know, his jokes about gay people, his jokes about trans people, his jokes about everything. They say that he's outdated, but it's just people who are offended who are, you would characterize some of these people as
SJWs.
I wasn't going to say it. I was trying to think of the better word.
Social justice warriors, but that's okay. It's fine. Like, I get it. Like,
I was going to say, I didn't watch the whole special. I don't know how to say that actor's name. I specifically watched his segment about that actor, and that's why I was like, I don't understand why people are offended about what he said, because he didn't say anything negative about gay people. He didn't say anything negative about anyone except for dude was fucking lying, obviously.
He was lying like hell.
I don't know.
I gotta find it. It's one of those things where like Vice was one. Okay, so Vice's headline was "You can definitely skip Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special."
Fuck Vice, bro.
Forbes said something about it
Sticks and Stone been
too.
out,
One
though?
of the headlines I saw said,
How long Sticks and Stone been out?
Weeks, maybe like a week.
For real? He
It just came out. So the whole thing about this, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
oh, just even Forbes.
Yeah.
Had something with the headline was like, "Don't watch Dave Chappelle's special. Watch this instead."
So the big thing is people correlating it to thinking that progression is almost eliminating that comedy style or eliminating anything that might offend
well,
someone.
no one can say anything anymore.
Well, that's the thing. It's
honestly.
like
so
that's
weird,
there's people that believe that, and I'm not saying like, you know me, I try to stay objective. I'm not saying that like they're completely wrong in that. Like some people like get offended, but I think that it goes to the extreme now to where it's like people don't say that offended me, I don't want to watch it. They say that offended me, I need to tell everyone and see who affirms that. And then when they affirm it, I'm going to make a movement out of
Cancel
it.
culture.
Right, it's like
Cancel culture.
That's
Exactly.
so played
turn your
out,
TV
bro. I
off,
hate
man. Like
cancel
just turn
culture.
your
Well,
TV off. Don't watch it.
I watched
Shit, bro.
I watched the Jussie Smollett, like that section of the stand-up special, and for me, it made so much sense that I could not laugh. Because the way he broke it down was like, all right, so check this out.
How is he not funny?
So,
That's the thing.
Jussie Smollett, bro. He broke it down so perfectly. It's like it's wintertime in New York. Jussie left his apartment at 2 a.m. It's freezing. It's cold as fuck. Nobody's going to do that.
Bro.
2, he's like, all right, bet. So you're in New York and 2 white dudes come around the corner. They walk up to you and they say, aren't you that faggot nigga from Empire? Well,
Why you gotta say it like that?
if you're really racist and you really are homophobic, why are you watching Empire and how do you know who, like,
Right.
Why do you know so much
why do you
about
know-
it?
Also,
Bro.
dude was on his way to
I
Subway.
know, bro. And
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They were actually
right.
black dudes, but he claimed them to be 2 white dudes holding MAGA hats.
Yeah.
Which is like, bro, come on.
I think
Come on.
I,
And he
I
was on
think
his way to Subway at 2 a.m. in New York when it was freezing outside. Why
You
are
rich.
you
Why
going
you
to
don't use Uber
Subway,
Eats?
dude?
that's
Yeah.
like a weird story you
That's
created.
what I'm saying, bro. And the way Dave Chappelle broke it down, I was like, damn, like, you're right. And he was saying, like, yeah, the black community wasn't really saying much about it because, shit, we knew that nigga was lying. It's
Right.
like, yeah,
It's
bro.
true,
like,
but I think the thing is, like, what I started to say at the beginning was, where we're at with us, we can hear that and be like, oh, that's a joke. Oh, that's funny. This is comedy. Like, I clicked on, then that's what he says in the special. He has a specific joke where he says, if you're mad about what I'm saying, remember, you clicked on my face.
Right.
I'm Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm going to say. And, like, people got so offended. And don't get me wrong, the outrage about it, there is a lot of Twitter.
Well,
there's, like,
they're
Twitter's at two
defending a
ends.
liar. They're defending someone who lied to the police.
Well, even
What?
then,
What?
even
Like,
pa-
you know what I'm
even
saying as
past
far as
him.
that goes. Like, it's just in defense of him, you're defending someone who lied to the police. How does that check out in your social justice meter?
I think that
don't-
joke, though, I think what it was about that joke was that wasn't what people were mad about. It was just the fact that, like, right before that and right after that, like, he peppered in a lot of, like, one of the jokes is, and I had to look it up to remember, one of the jokes is literally, trans people hate me. and I don't blame them because I can't stop writing jokes about them. And like Dave
Yeah, I didn't
Chappelle,
have any context
God
for
damn.
that
he starts
skit.
laughing, and like that's the thing is though, like he's self-aware. He knows that what he's about to say may not be with everyone's aligned with everyone's thing.
But when has it ever been though?
That's exactly it. He knows that too. He's like,
Right.
when has it ever been? And that's where people are defending him. People are saying like, this is Dave Chappelle, and not to. That shit was funny. Like that shit was
I
hilarious.
need to watch the whole thing.
Right.
to
Like
be
it
honest.
was funny, but it's because when you watch comedy, you're supposed to suspend your like almost like anything you feel about anything, because you might think somebody's really really funny who's making dead baby jokes. You know what I'm saying? And nobody thinks dead babies are funny. Like nobody, but see both of y'all.
I was always I had people request in high school for me to tell my dead baby jokes.
See, that's
I
what
was
I'm
that
saying.
comedian.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like there's a whole bunch of people that like stuff like that. And cancel culture has just created this idea that because we don't like something, that means it can't exist.
Nobody should like it, right? Hey, check this out though. Who name your top 2 comedians?
My top 2, Martin Lawrence and Dave Chappelle.
Name your top 2.
Top 2. That's hard. Eddie Murphy's in there.
Okay.
Honestly, for me, it's gonna be 1, Eddie Murphy, and 2, Seth Rogen.
Okay. I know you don't.
We had this
Yeah.
discussion once upon a time. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of stand-up comedy. I like Sarah Silverman. Very
Okay.
offensive.
That's the point.
She is very offensive.
every great comedian has been offensive and has also had gay jokes, bro.
Bruh. Yeah, well that's the thing, like it's the gay part is like, yeah, he's not saying anything about being gay is wrong.
Right.
He's not saying anything about like being gay is an unacceptable way of life. He's literally like, a lot of his jokes stem from, I don't understand this, so I'm putting myself in that position. Like the whole thing, it was with the trans joke. He made a joke like he's like it's kind of weird. It's a weird concept to be grown to feel like you're something else in somebody else's body. He's like, imagine if I was a Chinese man trapped in a black man's body. And then he did an impression of that. And that's kind of where people are like taking offense.
When it gets into race,
but it was,
that's when it gets iffy, dog. That's like the whole Roseanne situation. Once you start talking about race, bro, people get even
they
madder,
get mad.
bro.
And
Like,
that's the thing,
it's
like
crazy.
that's the thing, like Dave Chappelle's a comedian, man. They're observationists. They see something, they put themselves in the predicament, or they talk about the predicament.
For sure.
So it's like you can't be offended by Dave Chappelle because you know what he's gonna do as his job. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all great comedians offend somebody because they have a point of view and an opinion, and they let it be known. But like off stage, Dave Chappelle is a
They show
great
love,
fucking
bro.
person.
They
Like
show love,
he
bro.
just threw a free concert for like Dayton. I think it was Dayton. He threw a free concert and had like all kinds of dope shit happen, and it was for the community. So it's like, y'all tripping.
Speaking of council culture and dating, bro, ain't nobody gonna say anything about Kanye throwing his whole little free performance, the little Sunday service.
Oh,
Ain't nobody gonna say that.
When
but
was
let this
it?
man
I
put
heard
the
about
MAGA
it.
hat back on.
Oh,
I didn't
going
know that.
crazy.
When did that happen? Today?
Nah, this was like last Sunday.
So
I'm
what?
talking
They
about
put
it
the
was deep.
Brad Pitt was there today.
For real.
I saw that. That's all I saw about it.
See, like,
Okay, so like I
so
have a weird.
what's going on exactly?
So Kanye has received a lot of pushback as a celebrity and as just a person
Right.
because he put the MAGA hat on one time
Yeah.
and has a relationship with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But what happened? Apparently, he put the hat back on.
nah, I'm saying like he threw
I was just
Sunday
asking
service in Dayton, like last Sunday.
Oh,
and ain't
okay.
nobody say nothing. Like,
Oh, I thought you said he put the hat on. I
oh
was
nah,
like,
nah,
what?
nah. But I was saying like,
He's been canceled essentially.
bro,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
like he canceled
Okay.
until he produced one of y'all favorite rapper songs.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
get what you're
for
saying. He
sure,
was
for sure.
canceled, and then nobody's talking about what he's doing.
I just think it's lame. Like,
Oh, bro, like that's the thing. Cancel culture is so crazy because I don't know anyone in my personal life that can just cut anything off. Going back to the vegan thing, you do it gradually. Going back to anything, you do it gradually. So it's like the fact that society tries to take one thing and like flip it, even if it's horrible, gun reform, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. The fact that like now we're at a point where people are just like, I don't like this. It has to change right now. That's just instant gratification, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Any kind of like firm, kind of like the whole everything about cancel culture. Any kind of firm, irreversible decision based off an opinion. It goes against everything I stand for.
And it's like it's a
I
difference
just
from
can't.
canceling their music. Like if he drop an album and we ain't listening to that, but like if he doing something to try to like uplift a broken community, like you could.
Yeah, and I think you're trying to cancel people who like it's yay. Like at the end of the day, like
everyone
I have
deserves redemption. Like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
deserves a chance, no matter what they do. And I'm not saying canceling him was or wasn't valid,
Right.
but everyone deserves
Yeah,
redemption
right.
at some point.
I think, and
too.
everybody's gonna form their opinions. Like they're either gonna love it or hate it. That's like Chris Brown. I don't know if y'all know this, but Chris Brown was
seen
also back in Twitter like trending because he released a video that a lot of people were supporting because it was a dope video. I guess I haven't watched it yet, but he released a video and people are just going gung ho.
Is that the one with Gunna?
Yeah, yeah. They're like, no, Chris Brown. Like, if you listen to Chris Brown, don't talk to me, don't follow me, don't do this, because like Chris Brown, and like I said, that whole thing, I do not agree at all with even me, bro. I stopped listening to Chris Brown for a very long time. I just recently watched the No Guidance video.
You talking about after the Rihanna situation?
Yeah, well, me and Tori were talking about it, and I was like, I realized that I just picked Rihanna. I started listening to Rihanna a whole lot, and Rihanna is God, bro.
Right. Wasn't he my age when he did it?
Yeah, he was so young.
No,
Dude.
he
had
was
to be 20.
literally
Like maybe
like
20, maybe.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. Like, we're talking about everyone deserves redemption. We're going to catch hell for this, so y'all know.
Oh,
For
well,
everything we
part-
said
part
today,
of
people
it-
going to be like, what
I'm
y'all
not
talking
kidding,
about?
part
Yeah,
of
people
it,
already hate us, so fuck it.
part of it is if you don't ever allow for redemption, that person never has any motivation to do anything better with themselves or to ever make up for it. Because if they're already villainized,
They don't grow.
people will play the villain and they
Yeah.
don't grow. It's like already, no matter what I do, it doesn't matter. I'm put in this place, so it doesn't matter. Without redemption, like that's just a very scary world, and that's very like these are still people we're talking about.
One thing about Chris Brown, too, though, like, I do point out, because someone will say this in comments or just to us, he did do some crazy shit after that.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
Chris
Yeah.
Brown was a mad cokehead for a minute.
Yeah.
Big facts.
The cops surrounded his house and some shit.
Crazy.
Y'all remember that shit?
Nah, I
That
remember.
shit-
Yeah.
That shit was wild. But, like, I don't know, man.
I'm not
this whole
defending
episode
Chris
kinda
Brown by
became
what I'm
about
saying at
cancel
all.
culture, which is crazy.
It's just such a big thing now. It's like,
It is.
that
It
nigga
is.
fuck up, bro, you cancel.
I see. Yeah, that word is, and it's even become such a normal. People just toss that word out in response to things.
Well, you have to kind of think about it, too. Like, people throw it out because they're terrified. Like, people, like, everyone's done something bad in their life. I don't care who you are. You've done something that made you go, like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
But that's how life works. You know, you do bad, you do good, you learn. Most of us lean towards trying to do better as you grow. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's terrified. Everybody's terrified that, like, what if that one thing I did gets out? Or what if that one thing that I agree with
What if
comes out?
I get canceled?
You know, what if I get canceled? And I think that kind of fuels it. They're like, people are trying so hard. Like, groupthink, bro. Groupthink is a real thing. Like, you get around people, you start thinking the same way. Rappers start rapping the same way. Like, it literally happens. And it's like, people find comfort in that.
We're going to get canceled.
I
after this
feel
Oh,
like
bro,
the-
I'm canceled. Y'all know I'm canceled.
Cancel Trvy.
The next
Let me get
Netflix
10K strings
documentary.
before y'all cancel me, please.
Yo, I'm
Word.
literally like
You right there.
600 away from 10K.
Ooh.
The
Clap it up,
show
clap
is
it
not
up.
about you, Trevor.
He said something about 10K.
Talk about Kxng
We
Blanco,
don't, Blanco. We don't talk
Jeez.
about.
Okay,
Trevor.
wait,
Oh,
wait,
we don't
wait,
talk
wait,
about
hold on,
Trevor.
hold on,
Oh,
wait, wait,
just
wait, wait.
600. Wow. You supposed to-
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Goodie approached me with the podcast idea, saying, "Yeah, it's not even an interview, dog. It's just a conversation."
Right.
You know, so we can't talk about me.
No,
I'm canceled.
that was in the
Nobody wanna
fine
hear
print.
about you.
Okay.
You canceled,
Welcome
bro.
to Trvy and Friends.
Nah, but how are your streams doing, Kxng
Yeah, what you?
Blanco? What's
I know
going
you.
on with
You,
man?
you getting up there?
I'm getting up there. I think I'm only at like 6.
What that royalty check look like?
I got a cooler 50p, cooler
Ooh,
50cc.
okay,
Still
okay.
sitting on DistroKid, and we speak.
Yeah, okay.
I'm excited. I am excited, bro, because I got like $20, but it didn't include the actual album drop.
for
So
sure.
now I gotta wait 3 months to find out any money I made.
Gang.
God, dude. The way music works now is so weird, bruh. It's so weird.
I mean, I think it's kind of always.
I can't
worked
even
like
get a
that,
whole
bruh.
penny for this stream.
hell no, bro. Back in the day,
Yeah.
that shit was crazy.
You didn't
dude.
get paid, but you got to think there's so many more of us. It had to change. But back in the day, bro, you got it. There was some rappers sleeping on couches.
Dog,
I
before
actually-
streaming, it was like you take the deal or you broke.
Yeah, but
That's
how
it.
many people got offered the deal?
Not a lot.
I have
That's why.
Not a lot.
I had a question I was thinking about this week that I actually wanted to discuss during this podcast. Do you guys think it's possible now to blow up without a social media presence?
Yes,
Mm.
100%.
And I'm asking this
You
because
sure?
I have so many artists that talk to me about just what they're doing and what they could do better.
Okay, so
and usually the
define
problem,
blow up. You mean like? I didn't mean to cut you off either. I
Oh,
just
all
wanted to
good,
get a
yeah.
clarification. Blow up like one day they're just a million plays, or blow up like get a deal and be able to live off their
get
music.
a deal and live off their
Yes,
music.
100%. There's so
can
many.
see
There's
how.
so many people that write music that are not on social media, or that just don't have that. Because you got to think. I mean, at least to me, I believe as many people that want to be in the spotlight, there's that many people that are talented that don't care. You know what I'm saying? And I personally like
What you got to do? What do you have to do to get the deal that way?
Business. You have to know how to move. Like the industry is not the
You have to be a lot more present, that's for sure. Like
Well, that's the
present, you
thing.
either have to be present online or you got to be present in person.
Well, even then, like you don't have to. You just have to have a product. So, like, put it this way: if I knew everything I knew now, and I was 17 years old, 16 years old, what I would do is literally take a year or 2 years and build a portfolio. I wouldn't care about social media as much. I might have a personal social media, and this is just in the theory that, I'm not doing my music that way, And then I would build a portfolio, get videos shot, have promotions, have pictures, have music. If you approach the right people with that, if you go into the right meeting and you're good enough to, like, if you're charismatic and you have the confidence and you do that shit, and sometimes you don't even need that. You just need to walk in there with that portfolio, that product, or that, because at the end of the day, there's a whole system of people that are selling the product of music.
Right. A lot of times labels aren't looking for someone that already has an audience. They're looking for the person that they can build an audience
Well,
for.
I think they're looking for both, but I do think that labels, I think that they cannot care either way, depending on what it really depends on the people. That's the thing. There's a whole job that's almost lost in music. Like the A&R is not what it was, right? The A&R is a completely different thing. Some A&Rs are almost celebrities themselves. You know what I mean? But like, there's people who are paid by labels to just go see acts and see if they can develop them and see what they can do with them, and that's like on the side. You know what I'm saying? That like I think people forget that this part, like us doing like things to be in the limelight, there's a whole system that still exists. Now the music industry has changed, don't get me wrong, but like personally, like things that I've witnessed, we'll segue to this with this. I knew that the homies did Missy Elliott's records months and months ago. You know what I'm saying? And like, they literally just sat there and had to wait. They couldn't say anything about it. They couldn't do anything about it. And like, then it comes out and they're in the liner notes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no one knows. Y'all don't know their names unless I tell them to. You know what I'm saying? Like their names are not known. You know what I'm saying? Those people have been grinding, and they don't have.
I think it's been the same for years and years. I think the only thing that's changed in music is how the artist gets paid. That's the only thing that, to me, is extremely different. And I think it's always been just like any other business. It's not what you know or what you're good at. It's who you know.
I
and
think
who
there is
you're
a part
good
of
at
that.
talking to.
There's also there's two schools now. I think because like people blow up on SoundCloud, whatever you want to call blowing up. People make their living off of SoundCloud by themselves, no label, nothing, just making music in their bedroom. So like
On SoundCloud?
yes, bro. Like you gotta understand.
Really?
You gotta understand. Like all of these streaming services they pay people, right? They pay people. SoundCloud was the most. This is why it was so popular. It was the most accessible because any of us could put music up.
Right.
Then they started the whole monetization and figuring that stuff up. But now they have it where you can link it out to anything. So if I host all of my album on iTunes or something like that, but I specifically was popping on SoundCloud, that's how I made my money. You know what I'm saying? Like if SoundCloud's what led everybody to my shit, and there's rappers that do it with YouTube every day. You know, what's his name? Not Deep Pride. Russell. His name's Russell.
Oh no, Russell.
Timothy De La Ghetto came off YouTube like that. He literally came off filming himself every day, and
But
now
I feel
he's
like ultimately, like the main like blow up is like getting to another point, like getting a deal or getting to a label, getting to a TV
That's
show.
what I'm saying. We gotta
else.
define what blowing up is.
Right,
Like,
because now and that is something that has kind of changed because a lot of people view blowing up as I make my career and my money off of my music.
Word.
Like, just that's it. Like
And
I make all my money.
I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but it's just hard for me to picture somebody paying rent, paying bills, getting a car off of just SoundCloud and
Right.
nothing
Yeah,
else.
I
do
think,
sound crazy.
Nothing else.
but
It
think
do
about
sound
this:
crazy.
to
Like-
someone who's 50 years old and doesn't use the internet, like us, what do you think a YouTube star sounds like to them?
To someone
What do
who's
you think an
50.
Instagram model sounds like to them?
He's calling
Right.
you a 50-year-old.
No,
man,
but I'm
Goodie.
saying
Yeah,
that's what
like,
I'm
what's
saying
going
though.
on
Like,
here?
no, I'm saying like when you look at it objectively, everybody in entertainment, at least in all the entertainment levels of industry,
I have
it
to
all
say,
sounds a
if-
little fucking crazy.
If someone can pay all their bills off of Snapchat Premium, someone on SoundCloud can
If
surely
somebody
do
can
it.
pay off, so like look at this, bruh. Imagine you go and meet these people who have done construction their whole life, and you're sitting down with them, and they don't know anything different, you know, just construction, and you're like, oh yeah, I take this little device and I record what people do, and then I sell it to them. That's fucking crazy.
Right.
You pay your bills like that,
Word.
especially in a world where we all have phones. You pay your bills by shooting a can.
I feel like that's a mad simplification, but
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's a mad simplification to just think that SoundCloud is just SoundCloud. SoundCloud is algorithmic. It has all the tools you need. It literally has everything you would need to make your living off of it.
Word.
King Blanco,
What's up?
what's your favorite music platform to listen to music on?
Lately, it's been Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah.
What do you feel like what platform does your music do the best on?
Apple Music. Wait, I ain't gonna lie though. Lately, it's been Spotify, but I think it's because I got thrown on this playlist like some months back, and it's just.
Yeah.
Do you
still
think
going.
do you push your Spotify now that you have Spotify?
Uh,
Because that's why I push my Spotify.
I always been pushing. I always try like to push Apple Music and Spotify like at the same time, but most of the time it's Spotify. Like when I.
Well, that's
I be
what I'm
catching
wondering.
myself.
Now that you're using it, like now that it's your thing,
Yeah.
do you find yourself sharing more from Spotify, which in turn might have people coming
Yeah, definitely.
to your page?
Definitely, I think so.
What's yours, Goodie?
I use Apple Music, and I've been using it for the past couple of years. It's just so easy for me because I have Apple products, so I can transfer
Nah, I ain't-
everything over. I can
fuck with
stream
it.
on one, stream on the other, and then it's just so easy for me.
Shout out all the
We're
green
not,
messages
we're not
out
talking
there.
about it.
Yeah.
Shout out everybody with a green message
Scrap has an
box.
Android, so
Ew.
makes it
This-
kinda-
this is
Listen,
gonna be
we're
a
not
permanent
technology
topic.
haters out here. I just want to shout out all the green messages.
Right.
I know it's
that
frustrating.
Android music is popping, boy.
I ain't gonna lie though. The only reason I really use Spotify more is because like I don't be trying to use my data. Use the
Save
Apple Music
more.
on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
On the
that
way
makes
to the
sense.
church.
I have Spotify, but today I signed up for the trial for Apple Music to see, kind of have them both for a month and kind of see what's going on. But also, and this is a key for anyone watching, any artist in the room, there's one called Audio Mac that just it's a good one, and they just got some. I think it was with Warner Bros. Or not Warner Bros. Some big company. They just did their first deal with them. And Audio Mac is a growing platform.
Bruh, trash niggas made watered down Audio Mac for me before I even hopped.
No, but that's
been
the
around
thing
for a
now.
minute.
They had to like, that was the thing. I thought the same thing, and then I got the new app and I got the new page, and I found that they've been working hard. Because I remember, at least from, if it's the same site that I remember, because I knew the name Audio Mac before.
I've seen a few Athens artists
Release
their music just on Audio
but
Mac.
now
You
they're,
trying to
like,
say Athens
really
artist
growing.
trash, Strout?
Wow.
No,
God
that's
says
fucked
Athens
up.
artists are
That's not
trash.
true.
Dang.
That's not true. Blanco's trolling me.
Damn. Scrap God's canceled.
Cancel Scrap.
I've been
No more volume
canceled.
Hashtag cancel Scrap.
Listen, okay, don't cancel Scrap. We got Scrap stock. We got shows
Yeah.
to do.
Coming to
Yeah.
bed.
But yeah, I think that Audio Mac is growing, and I mean it might. Hopefully it does well, you know, just because I see a couple people who seem like good people who are like supporting it.
Right.
But like they did just get and that's going off the SoundCloud thing, bro. Like if you perform well on a streaming service, use that streaming service. No matter what you think of what people think about it, people use that shit.
Yeah.
People use SoundCloud to listen to music. I haven't opened SoundCloud I hadn't opened it in months until yesterday. So it's like I'm not that person. That's not where I find my music. That's not where I listen to my music. But there's like a whole like you see some of the SoundCloud rappers made it out, like Zan or not Zan.
They all got deals. They all got deals. They left SoundCloud.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing though. They got
Even the most SoundCloud rapper of all time, aka Lil Pump. That nigga blew the fuck
I want to
up.
see.
He finessed the fuck out of everyone.
But that's the thing.
Bro.
I think
Not
Especially
just
his
SoundCloud.
contract. What?
But that's what I think. What I'm
That man
saying
basically
is
got
like
free money, bro.
we seen some of them cross over, but like there's thousands, millions of them on there who almost get to that level. You know what I'm saying? So they keep going on that platform. So they're just getting streams. Like they got fans.
Word.
Like they got fans. And that's the thing. It's like me, dog. Like I have a certain group of people that listen to my music. Like, and that's it. Those are my fans.
I want to see like averages in revenue in correlation to like SoundCloud followers. Like how much, like if you have 1 million followers on SoundCloud and no label, no nothing, you're independent as can be. How much money are you making? Because you're only getting paid for what, ads? Or you getting paid for streams?
I think they switched to streaming, paying for streaming.
So you get
Bro,
you
I
get
swear to
paid.
God,
Like, the
it is
more
bigger
people
than
stream
every
your
other
music, the
platform.
more money you make. If you got that many followers, you should be making a lot of money, right?
I think Tidal pays the most, right?
I haven't got
Do you
one
know?
cent from Tidal yet.
Damn,
bro.
ain't nobody says shit about Tidal.
I ain't got 1 cent from them, bro.
I can't afford that shit.
I mean,
Tidal.
I
much
see
is
that
Tidal a month?
I see that everybody releases their music on Tidal, and I honestly have no idea what it is. I don't. know
Tidal
what it
is Jay-Z's owned
Pretty much.
I
stream.
don't,
Well, I don't even know if he fully owns it. Maybe he fully owns it. But
I don't know
basically,
anyone that uses it.
it's got a lot of. Okay, you need 766 streams on. Wow, on SoundCloud you need 766 streams to earn $1, but it takes 96 streams on SoundCloud Go. So the people who are paying for SoundCloud Go,
That's so broken, bro.
Yeah, that's.
but that's what
So
it is.
broken.
Like that's what it is. They figured their thing out, and somebody's using it, and I bet people are getting rich off.
766 streams to earn $1 on SoundCloud.
Bruh,
Unless you pay for the
Spotify.
service.
Spotify. Oh man, Spotify is so much worse.
But niggas have Spotify though.
People have SoundCloud.
Nobody listens on SoundCloud, bro.
Dude, I think the term SoundCloud rapper kind of.
Bro, you get in the
Yeah.
car. You get in the car. What's the first music app you gonna open?
What is it? Spotify?
Spotify, Apple Music. It's not gonna be
Spotify.
SoundCloud, bro. It's not. Cause all the music you want's not on there. Like if you want to go listen to like the new whatever album, you want to go listen to the new Missy Elliott, bro. It's not on SoundCloud.
They gonna have the album, but it's
Has
gonna be like
anyone-
30-second snippets of every song.
Has anyone listened to her album? Did you listen to the whole thing?
I've only listened to whatever song that music video just dropped for. What song
Yeah.
is that, Trvy?
What are we talking about?
The new Missy.
Throw
music?
it back.
I listened to that. That shit's hard.
That shit's hard. No, the whole like
is
it's
the
4
GOAT.
songs. One of them's an
Right.
acapella. It's crazy. You out? Bye.
By Chorty.
Sorry, I had to. You know.
Alright.
Hey, take your buns.
See you later.
Okay.
You making dinner?
She getting dinner. I ain't even getting no dinner.
I'm finna go eat.
But Missy's project is 4 songs. It's dope. It is
I knew
dope.
it
The
was 4
acapella
songs.
is really cool to hear because it's not like it's the song before the acapella and then it's the acapella and of that same song, and it's something different for her. So like, go listen to that because that's pretty cool.
I
How
love
long
how
has
she
it
just
been since she
revived,
released
so.
something?
Oh my, it's been a long.
I know it's been a long time. Her VMA performance
Crazy.
was wild. That was
Crazy.
so crazy. It rained in there. That was fucking crazy. It blew my mind.
Yeah, it got a little lit.
A little lit.
It got a little
lit.
lit. It got a little lit. Like when she brought out Homegirl from the original video scrap, hold the mic up. She said, yeah. I just want them to hear.
I was just saying, yeah.
What is this?
2005, I guess, the cookbook came out and it went gold. And that's the thing, man.
Damn, that's longer than I thought.
I think we forget too that like once some people have like a little bit,
And it's
they
real
have a
gold,
little
too.
longevity in terms of like Missy, of course, is a legend.
I
but
wonder why she only did 4 songs. Has she spoken on that?
I don't know, but I think it's one of those things where
She's
like
easing into her return. You know?
Yeah,
you
She's gone
kinda
for
have
so
to-
long.
we as rappers we try
You
to do
can't
it
put
all the
out-
time.
Yeah.
We'd be like, yo, I'm gonna put out this EP before the album, or this mixtape before the EP. Or this EP before the mixtape before the album, and it's like we try to. It's like trying to. I think it's trying to build some sort of like wave.
Momentum,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it's like I think it works. It especially works for someone big like that. I think it works when you think it out real hard and you do it. So I think that's where it became popular. It's like people were like, I think the mixtapes became EPs. You know what I'm saying? Mixtape culture where everybody was like, oh, I got a mixtape today, a mixtape tomorrow, a mixtape of that. And then like now it's like, oh, I'm going to drop this EP, I'm going to drop this EP, I'm going to drop this EP. But it's like when it comes to albums, we've had this conversation.
Right.
What's an album versus an EP?
Right.
Shout out Charlie, bro.
Listen, Charlie's just looking at me crazy. Listen, I've told you 100%, bro. I think the only way to succeed, and this is just my opinion, we're talking about SoundCloud and all that, you have to make a real album. And I mean a real, concise, thought-out album. It has to make sense to your listeners to want to be there. Yeah. Because most people tap out. Like, it's like, I hear 2 songs, or I hear Missy Elliott's thing is 4 songs.
And one's a acapella.
And one's an acapella. And we all knew we was coming here, but none of us listened to it. We could have taken 15 minutes. But that's the thing, though. It's like, that's not where music culture is.
Bro, I didn't know. I just thought like the video just went viral and she like, oh, she back.
No, and see, that's the thing is like, music moves so fast, bruh. Because like, we were on Thug 10 minutes before Missy, right? Like,
True.
or it
Make me
came
feel
out
like my
right
album
after. I don't
old,
remember.
bro.
Like, it's
There's
like
so much that comes out so fast. It's hard. Like there's probably way more people we could have talked about too today.
y'all ready to have your mind blown a little bit?
How?
YouTube has 1.5 billion subscribers.
That's it?
Do you
NetEase, which isn't even in America, has 400 million.
What is NetEase?
This is for music. It's a Chinese company. SoundCloud has 175 million. So SoundCloud has 5 million more users than Spotify.
Ooh.
Wow.
And 100 million more users than Apple Music.
Wow.
What's the date?
that's
What's
crazy.
the date on this article? I'm just curious.
That makes sense, though.
2018, so a year ago.
Yeah.
So May
Dang.
25th. So like a year ago, we didn't know because none of us were on SoundCloud then, I guess. We were like using it a little bit, but not really on
A year
it.
ago?
Right.
Were you on SoundCloud a year
Bruh,
ago?
I've been on SoundCloud. We've all
No,
been on SoundCloud
I meant like
forever.
on SoundCloud.
Active
I meant like
user.
actually using that bitch.
Yeah, I haven't actively used SoundCloud since like 2000.
I just started back.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like a year ago, we weren't using it, so it's like we weren't thinking about the fact that it has 170 million, it's 175 million
dominating.
users. They're still dominating the game,
Right.
but it's like we don't think about it because it became the free music
But
platform.
I say 130 million of them are just making music. The rest are actually
But that's the
like,
thing, we don't
listening.
know that. We assume that because that's the culture of like.
That shows you what bailouts can do because they were going down for a minute. SoundCloud was done.
They were they were just they didn't have a monetized. I didn't think they had a good monetized thing, and then they came out with 2 separate paid platforms or something like that.
They were just tanking.
They were
the
trying to
pay-
figure it out,
yeah,
but like
right.
that's the thing we forget though. Like it's like somebody today messaged me and was like, put your project on SoundCloud because they don't pay for Spotify or Apple Music.
So
Yeah, I do
how
it
does that
anyway.
make you
I just throw
feel?
it on there.
How does that make you
Yeah.
feel if you put out a project and you're like, hey guys, I worked really hard on this. I've been working on this for months and months. I put my heart and soul into this project. It's $5, or you can go stream it here. And someone says, hey, bruh, you'll upload that shit for free on SoundCloud.
I think for me, I to curb the idea of being like depressed about that, I told myself.
Because look at his face. He's like, nah, right? He's not fucking with it.
I told myself that if I hit a certain number, I would just upload it afterwards. Only
I think
because
that's a bad move.
Well, only because I think that, like I said, you have to have a plan, and the whole plan of that is I have videos coming out still, and there is 170 million users on there. So it's like I need to reach some of, not even just the fans, some of those artists and some of those execs that use it that people don't think use it. Like there, as much as we want to trash SoundCloud or anything, as much as we want to think about that, there is an executive in the music industry that's on SoundCloud right now.
So are you able to like
somewhere?
Are you able to put your music on SoundCloud and have people pay for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Okay.
fixed
So
it.
it doesn't
They-
have to be free.
Yeah, they fixed the idea that it's you can't get paid from SoundCloud now.
Right.
But I don't know if it's like with the stigmas that have been built around some parts of SoundCloud. I think hip hop culture, it just went off. It's cool. We can
We're at an hour and 5.
that last so
Alright.
long. But what?
Christ. That shit went by. Sorry. The other battery is right here if you want it. It's in
Yeah,
the camera
pop
bag.
that other one in there. Not that one. The other camera.
Put the Ronin on the stand and just grab that bag. But
But yeah.
don't
So how do you feel about it?
As far as I'm not trashing SoundCloud, but as far as the people, I really
is that one dead too?
don't feel like
Oh damn.
music of our caliber at the stage that we at, because it's like
Right here, Uniqe.
I feel like our music sounds more advanced than our careers are in a way that makes
feel that.
sense.
Yeah, I see what you're
So I
saying.
don't feel like it's really appreciated simply because people feel like they still on the same level as us, even though
I
the
think
music
I
not.
think I get that. I think the thing is though that like, how many of y'all use TikTok? I just need to know
Never
this off of
fucking
this.
once.
I need to know that because a lot of people don't understand that TikTok is one of the fastest growing video platforms. Thriller. So they are the fastest growing social medias, not just video platforms, social medias. And did you know now another thing for people who use DistroKid, you can now send your
TikTok.
music to TikTok.
Yeah.
And that's opening a whole nother market of like
That's the younger market too.
yeah, it's the
That
really,
a lot of the other
yeah,
ones aren't tapped into.
Exactly. So it's like coming off of that, I think the platforms are made for listeners. So I don't think you should get caught up in the idea that like your music is beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people who use SoundCloud as like their litmus test for what's dope and what's not.
Right.
So you're missing out on a whole section of people just because SoundCloud has a stigma to you.
Right. Nah, it's not about SoundCloud. It's just like you was like, well, Goodie was saying, if somebody like, if you say, hey, I just dropped this album, I worked really hard on it, put a lot of money into it, and somebody hit you up like, hey, can you give it to me for free? That's what I was
I
came
feel
from.
you.
I
I
wasn't
feel
talking
you.
about SoundCloud.
So you're talking about like more the users.
yeah.
That,
for sure.
and I don't know. Like I've never used SoundCloud. I know that I pulled it up for this. So what's trending in the SoundCloud community is Lil Tecca, Lil TJ,
He expected
Lil
to sell
Tecca
like
again.
40,000 first week.
Melly is still trending. But it's Tecca, NLE Choppa. So my whole thing about pulling this up was how many of these artists did any of y'all listen to a lot? A lot.
A lot.
I mean,
Thug
would
Baby?
probably be the most.
The
Yeah.
Baby.
But the thing is, all of these artists are signed.
But that's the thing though. These guys, I'm pretty sure Tecca and TJ started on SoundCloud. So maybe they had aspirations to go further, but like this is how they got known. You see what I'm saying? So like they literally grinded this like we grind Spotify or we grind Twitter or
Yeah.
Instagram.
But I
or
feel
some
like that's a
shit.
given. If you're talking about an independent artist, you're like, okay, where do I listen to your music? You're gonna be like everywhere.
Right.
I put it here, I put it there, I put it everywhere I can. Like that's that's a given, you know.
But you got to think you can't say that if you don't use SoundCloud because it's such a big platform.
That's why I still throw my album on.
Yeah,
there.
you throw it on there just for the hell.
I didn't know
It's not doing
Fatboy
numbers at
SSE
all.
was a rapper though, or a singer, whatever
He's a
doing.
SoundCloud rapper.
Is he?
Apparently.
Have you heard it? Oh, beef time.
Hey, it's beef right here,
What you
dog.
about to- what
There
you
can
gotta
only
say?
be one fat boy.
Hot take, Fatboy SSE.
Hot boy SSC.
Hot take.
I
What?
follow him. He cool. His girl bad.
You looked at me like this. You said, and then he's he cool. I hate you, bro. It's because he been saying he the fat boy for how long? Your whole life?
My whole life.
He's
But
always
it
been
don't
fat
even
boy.
matter because I'm the sexiest fat nigga dead and alive. So you know.
Sex symbol.
Dead and alive. Oh, so you got
Okay.
Biggie.
What?
I'm just
I'm
asking.
gonna big out the water,
That
bro.
nigga Biggie was grotesque.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my god.
Nah, he wasn't.
How dare you?
Tried it.
He was
bro.
dope.
He was
could-
dope.
He
Yeah,
can
he
be
could rap.
dope.
Biggie wrote Big Papa. That for me solidifies his player pimp game.
He also
And,
looked like he fell in a blender
I'm
one
Big
time.
Papa in the
Yeah.
group chat, so
Scrap's nickname is Big Papa in the group chat.
Wow.
I don't know how
I
feel
think
about
Dev
that.
did that.
you're
Dad
not
did
ever
that.
in the group chats, Goodie. So
Goodie
Too
literally
many group
joins the
chats.
group chat, mutes the group chat, and then never reads anything.
Well, y'all niggas be talking about the craziest shit. I don't have time, bro. I got shit to do.
Y'all got a GA Pro group chat?
No.
Y'all should. And
Smart.
see what kind of
I
wild
lied.
shit happens.
I lied. Yeah, we do. We just
but it's
made
on
one.
mute.
No.
Okay, how
No,
many group
fire.
chats do you have on mute right now?
I just leave them.
You just let them ring your phone up?
I just leave the group chat.
Damn.
Okay.
I ain't that
That's
brave,
one
dog.
way.
What they gonna do?
I don't know. Get
They'll
sad.
add you back, bro. They'll
They
add
text
you
my
back.
phone, bro.
That's funny, bro. You just leave. Kxng Blanco has left the group chat.
Right. Dang.
That's
On that
great.
note.
Do we have any other topics? What else we got?
I think it's time for Kxng Blanco to leave the group chat.
Dang. Oh,
What's
I got
up?
some. I got some.
What you got?
Jay-Z shit. All right,
Oh,
go
I was.
ahead. Go ahead.
Shout out Slab Cypher. They just dropped the list. Top 25 indie artists.
Oh no!
Alright.
Don't bring up
Alright,
a list.
gang,
So
gang.
about that list.
About to be a lot of beef in here.
Nah, the list is solid. It's
Nah,
Panama
list solid.
Jane was
No.
number
Cool,
one.
that's
That was
cool.
dope. I
Oh yeah,
support
I'm
that.
so happy. It's
I'll
a lot
put
of female artists on there.
I'll put Panama Jane number one
Yeah.
for an independent artist.
For sure.
Grind style.
Panama
aesthetic,
Jane grinds
product.
so
sure.
hard.
It's all dope.
For sure.
Panama Jane is, and this list is Athens and Atlanta, right?
It's really Atlanta. We just made it
Okay.
because we be in Atlanta a little bit.
Well, yeah. That's why I was.
every once in a while we'll pop in, see what's happening, and pop
We've
out.
been in Atlanta.
One foot in, one foot
Shit,
out.
so the thing about that is like, if it's just Atlanta, how the hell did we get on there?
And there were some like Athens-y artists on there.
Oh, big muscle,
Top 10.
big muscle.
Top 10. Yes, sir.
No,
Top 10 of
for
his
the-
own list.
For the most part, like I didn't read the whole thing just because I'm so tired of top lists. Bro,
What you mean?
like there's so many. Like after the top 50,
Well, everyone's gonna argue it, no matter what it is.
bro, but
Right.
so many people are making top rapper lists, and I'm just like, why? Like why? Why does it matter? It's
This
like,
one's
It will
indie
forever be
artist.
a
but no. So this one,
Right.
I get the concept. I'm just saying I didn't
This one
read the whole
actually
thing.
matters.
This one actually matters. Listen, I didn't read the whole thing, but who was the top 5?
I don't know. I just know I'm top 10.
Oh my
It was Panama
God. Hold on,
Jane,
I'm gonna read
and
the whole
then
thing.
Yeah.
I should have read it. I just didn't. I saw it in passing.
wasn't
and I
Cass
was
in the
like, I don't
top
wanna-
5?
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah, I think so.
She was up there, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I skimmed it. Like I said,
Here,
I
I
saw
can pull it
Blanco.
up.
I saw
saw
us at
Yacht.
like 12.
I
We
saw
was
Body.
17, bro. Stop flexing.
Were we at 17?
17, bro.
Was it okay? But was it
Okay,
in
here's
order?
the list. Here's the list.
Okay.
Oh, you got it.
Panama Jane, I don't know who that is, Blanco.
Let me see.
LVRDS, the Liverds. The Livers?
Oh my god.
Lords.
Close.
Pretty
Oh.
sure that's just supposed to be Lords.
Very close.
Oh my
Um,
god.
I'm an
What,
English
Post
major.
out there?
Nisha Nice, Fresh Ali, Peso Montana, E Chapo, Cassie, Hayden Hendricks, Kxng Blanco, Yanni Mo, Re-Ill,
Who
King
after
Yoshi.
who after Hayden?
We're 13.
Who
Blanco.
after? Okay.
Okay, so like, so I think like for me, I really gotta like, I gotta know who the Lords are. I gotta know who Nisha Nice is. I know who Fresh Ali is.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's
Sheesh.
crazy. Peso Montana. I've heard that name before, but yeah, that's I can see Panama Jane and Fresh Ali definitely in the top 5. Those I know them, but like I know of them, but yeah, they are both definitely they be grinding hard. I know that there's a dude at number 9. He should be like a little bit higher.
I haven't
You
heard
think so?
much from Yoshi.
Huh?
That's so.
Yeah, he should be.
I remember
up,
Yoshi
like,
used
you
to be
know,
on
maybe like
your shows all the time.
6.
He wasn't on my shows. When he did come to Athens, I have no idea who organized those shows. Do you know?
Yoshi
Did he
was.
organize them?
I would just show up to like a volume show and he would just be there.
Nah,
Oh,
Yoshi
well,
was
he
like a
would
staple
come
of
hang
like.
out.
He was with Griffin them. I think Griffin them invited him for one. Yoshi's
Yeah.
cool. Yoshi be grinding too. Like he be out there. He be out there like wild. Like
He got that hat.
Yeah.
yo, there's a
he's
whole
all,
nother.
yeah, I see him at every show in Atlanta.
There's a side of Atlanta that like that I've been hip to recently. That's like T Mason, Kenny Mason, Beauregard.
T Mason just dropped a project, no?
Yes. But yeah, that whole group that they crazy, bro.
I know one thing though. It's gonna be a lot of people on that list on the Stars and Mike show September 21st.
Oh my god.
What a segue.
What
Oh
a
my
plug.
God.
Plug
I'm
master.
getting good
Christ.
at this, man.
Plug
No,
master over here.
that show is gonna be lit. Unique.
No, for sure.
Unique.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yo, Bobby.
you gonna be out there lit.
What time are we at right now? Okay, so we got to wrap this up soon. I don't want to keep you here all night, but I do want to know, what have you been like listening to lately? Like what's in your headphones?
Top 2 albums.
Dang, bro. I swear I'm not doing this because you right here. I gotta say this.
You
Scrub
talking about-
guy, your mixtape is crazy. No, I'm just playing.
Thank
Nah,
you.
Say it in both mics.
I'm listening to Aura a lot lately.
That's your album, right?
What are you listening to?
I'm just kidding.
Something like that, you know. I let Trvy feature on a lot
Chevy
of songs.
feature on there. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like ours dope.
Look
I've been listening to it.
Or it's dope.
I don't know. You do a really good job of like marketing your album, and then when you go to shows, you make sure you do songs from the album. A lot of people dropping albums and just doing
I
random
feel like my
songs when they
marketing
perform.
trash, bro.
I think the thing about do you believe in it? Like if you really believe in the project you put
The
out,
heart of the cards.
yeah. If you believe in the heart of the cards, you gonna get blue eyes every time.
For sure.
That's real. That's
I don't-
real,
I don't
man.
know.
But nah, like I think for me, I segued into the idea that like a project, an album. I mean, honestly, I got it from for the way I used to get albums, bro. Like I remember like wanting to listen to a whole project, and it's like now I literally catch snippets of songs, or like 2-minute songs, and I have a lot of 2-minute songs on the album. Like there's like a bunch of songs that are like 2:30, 2:40, but it's like
I don't know why people don't like that though. Like, what's the problem?
well, now I think it's kind of like it's becoming a thing. Like people do like it, but
Okay.
when you give someone a bunch of 2-minute songs that don't have correlation, that
Oh,
don't
just
like
everywhere.
that don't flow,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? Because an album can just be a bunch of songs,
Right.
but if it's got to flow right every time,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like for me, that album is specifically just to be a complete thought. When you come back to it, I want you to start it at 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have a favorite song, of course. Like go listen to whatever you want to listen to. Like if you like my songs, thank you. But it's like I designed it to hope that people would get to 10, the last song,
Right.
and then they'd be like, oh yeah, that was dope. That was a feeling. And then those last 2 songs are supposed to kind of like hit you in the chest. Like,
Gotcha.
oh shit, there's a lot more to this. And then back to 1. You know what I'm saying? Like. So it's like I just think
Well,
the promotion aspect.
Yeah, replayability for albums is what makes you money in the long run.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
I really do believe that thought, the whole putting it together like that, is the reason I'm managing to get this many streams. Like I know homies with like millions of streams, you know, and like they'll tell you the same thing, bro. Like they don't know how it happened.
Right.
Shout out Cam the Artisan, by the way. Hold
I
on.
got a question. So the album I just dropped, this like statistically, this been my most successful project, but I've also heard like negative behind it. So I just want to know y'all honest opinion off of it.
I think
if y'all listen to it.
I think you're at a point where you call them albums, and you put a lot of work into them, so they are albums. But I think you're experimenting with your sound still.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I think you'll get to a project that you'll listen to and you'll be like, whoa, this all sounds like me. And I mean that in a sense, like your most pure version of your art. You know what I'm saying? So like you're young, man. That's one of those things. You're young. You make music. Like you're going through life. You're doing things. So it's like, I think people with negative feedback, they have expectations.
No, definitely. It wasn't like this trash. It was.
No, yeah. They have expectations.
Yeah.
They have something they've set. For me, when I hear your songs, especially this recent album, it's like I'm hearing you grow, and that's what I like. Because
I was just going to say, I really think that in this community, everyone believes in you so much that everyone wants you to keep doing better and getting better.
Right.
Honestly, if people are just like, oh, the whole thing was great, they don't like you, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to go anywhere. People that want you to grow and want you to make it are going to be like, this part was dope. Work on this part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not even saying work on it either. I'm saying like I can tell you're trying to find your sound.
And I feel like I
like
agree.
Sound, not flow, not lyrics, your sound.
I agree with both of them. I think looking back, like 2 years in the future, looking back till now, this will be far from your best project. You know, it's all about progress. It's all about growth, getting better, and not just in music, in your sound. It's all about life.
Right.
I think that right now you shouldn't get too attached to the numbers, too attached to what other people say.
Right.
Because people will always criticize you, whether it's good, whether it's bad. People will always say something. You can't really get caught up in it, especially because, like he said, you're so young. You got so much time.
Yeah, bro, you can't even drink legally yet.
What year were you born in? 2000?
I'm a 90s baby, bro. Chill,
Okay,
bro.
before
You were
Barely.
born in 99, bro.
you just said 90s, baby. You was born in 99. Tell me you just said
You didn't
that.
say that.
Yeah.
You didn't say
Okay. Here's the test.
Name all the Rugrats right now.
Oh, I was about to do something like that. Who's the main characters of Rocket Power?
Otto was one of them.
What was his sister's name?
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a trick question.
Reggie.
I was say that's a trick question, but Scrap knew the name. Okay, wait. Before we go, what have you been listening to?
Me personally, I listen to a lot of obscure music that I hear from like Elevator.
What?
I don't know.
From
already
elevators
checked
or the site elevator?
Nah,
From Elevator,
you know
one
Elevator.
singular one.
Elevator
yeah.
Mag.
I know what you're talking about. It's just funny. I imagine you like sitting in an elevator, like, yo, what is this?
Elevator music.
This shit bumps.
ElevatorMag.com for all your
This
weird
slaps.
obscure music. You know Baby Goyard?
Nope.
Yeah, shit like that. Weird shit. But I have been listening to Rich Brian. I like his album.
I love Rich Brian. He will
Brian.
always be Rich
Don't
Chigga
say
in
it.
my
I was about to
heart.
say, don't
he
say
will
it.
be.
Listen,
Rich Chigger.
you like.
I love him.
Listen, he
I'll
almost
eat
got
it,
canceled for his name.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He tried though. Like he was out here trying to do something. Like he knew that he had a sound. I just think that the name was crazy.
His name is
I think the
insane.
name Baby Jesus is crazy, but you went with it.
Right.
Scrap, what you been listening to?
You guys are gonna hate me for this, but I actually didn't realize that Kyle released an album back in May, and I listened to that, and it's actually the best cohesive album I think he's had. I
fuck with
started
Kyle.
listening to that. The other ones always had like a song or two that I really liked, but the other ones were eh. This one's pretty good throughout the whole thing.
His list always throw me off, bro.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
Come
I just like
on,
that
man.
nerdy rap.
Throw me off, bro.
Nah, see,
hate
Charlie
it.
on Kyle.
I don't dislike. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of Kyle, but
Kyle's lyricism.
He remind me of
actually pretty
Nickelodeon,
dope.
bro.
what's that one song? I like that
Nickelodeon
one
was a
song.
rapper.
I like that one song with Lil Yachty, and like that's it, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, of course you
Come
do.
on,
So
bro.
listen,
Song.
you got to give Kyle a chance.
Why?
Because he's dope. Now, I have a theory that people don't like Kyle because he makes happy music. And people don't like Chance, new album, because he
Because
made
it's
happy
happy.
music.
I ain't heard it.
Niggas is depressed, bro. Nobody wants
That is
happy
true.
music right now.
Who made
No,
that?
nobody wants happy music.
You right. I'm going to shout out the Weldons. I've been listening to the Weldons real hard. The Weldons are unreleased.
Word.
The homies.
Word. Okay.
Snowboard pop.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've been listening
Those
to a
words.
lot of like Afro pop, like
So
shit like that.
like you mean like what?
That Drogba song.
Nope. I'm kind of bubble. Like I've been listening to the homies, and then like these new people that like and not even new people like at shows that I go to, like Cam the Artisan is someone that like his album is insane, and he just did that thing with Sprite.
Sheesh.
But he literally, we were talking about it at a show, like how he was about to hit that million.
Ooh.
And like, bro, that song is amazing. But his album, like I said, his album's a complete thing. It's called Hughes. Bro, there's a song on there called Where You At? WYA. It's crazy. Like he's definitely got his own sound. But I've been caught in that bubble. Like T Mason, Michael Aristotle. That's the homie. That's one of the homies that Mikey Aristotle and Willie Hendricks are the homies that worked on the Missy joint. Tillman. I've been listening to Tillman recently. I like
that EP, Half Past Midnight. I really
crazy,
like
right?
it a lot.
So like I'm just
it's
caught in a
different.
bubble.
It's way different than I expected.
Yeah, I'm caught in a bubble where like I just want to. I listened to myself so much for a long time.
We
like
all
while
know
I was
that.
making the album, like 2 years of just me playing my music to myself.
I know your head hurt.
What's that? It's it's really just like one of those things where like I'm kind of happy now, like listening to other people's music, and I wanted the homies' music. Charlie and Uniqe got some crazy shit. Player got some
Novocaine
crazy
is like
shit.
the craziest song I've heard this year.
Bruh, Ask for Love.
And he be thinking people
That
be
shit's
like
crazy.
boosting him or something,
Bruh,
but
no,
like,
Ask for Love. I remember when me and
Look at him,
Tori
look at
like
him.
when Ask for Love caught us. Like I listened to it, and then I listened to something else, and I remember going like, nah, like I gotta go back real quick. Wait, what was that I just heard? And like I was just listening to it, and then Tori was listening to it, and it's just that song that like catches you, and you just like, okay, this is crazy. Like so like. That's me. I get caught in those obscure like local bubbles. I think that's why I
definitely.
hashtag local artist all the time.
Hashtag local friend music.
Hashtag local friend music. But yeah.
I got one more question, bro.
What's up?
For artists that's watching, and we talk about like complete projects. A lot of people just throw a lot of music that sound good together on one project. Can you give them some tips on how to make a complete album, or what makes a complete album?
Look, this is his way of trying to like he would ask this question off camera.
Asking for a friend.
Listen, Blanco catch me all the time. Like I'll be doing anything. Like, I'll be like engineering. And the way he asked the question every time, he's like, hey y'all dog, why'd you do that? And then like I'll be like, well, I wanted to do this, and he goes, okay. But why does that do that? Like he'll go until he understands completely the concept I did, and then go do that.
Bro,
shit.
you don't understand how long it took me to actually be like, fuck it, I'm an ass, bro.
You have to
No,
ask
bro, I
questions.
appreciate
You
that.
have to, yeah.
I appreciate that because I'm definitely of the school of artists that believes like I'm weird about like working with people just because I work a lot and like I have these plans that I want to execute. But like when people ask me questions, like what you just asked, I love to like kind of just be like, all right, this is my take on it. So like with a project, I'll put it out there. I'm working on season 2 right now. And as I'm working on season 2, I'm realizing that season 1, the way that I put it together was I made as much dope music as I could that I saved for me. Stuff that I felt, okay, that's the feeling of this project. That's the feeling of this project. I didn't name it. It didn't have a name for... It had like 5 names actually, but it didn't have like a real name until like one day I think I was like taking a 2-hour shower. Shout out.
Those
Take
classic 2 hours.
No,
This
bruh.
nigga takes the longest
Forever.
showers
Listen,
out of
listen.
anybody I've ever met.
But anyways, I was like, I just like something hit me and it's just like aura. And I was like, whoa. And then from that point, letting the name organically find me, I kind of like, I went back to the music and listened to it and I was like, okay, that fits, and just kept breaking it down.
Okay.
And then when it came to putting it together, I was like, okay, the cover art, the videos, everything has to make sense in terms of what the name means to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Brice, most people would like, I guess would hear that song, and I don't know what they think I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they think I was angry. I don't know what they think. But what I was feeling was I wanted to show that I can rap. That's really all Beers was to me. Like that whole best move the fuck out my way. That's my idea of like Ludacris. The first time I heard Move Bitch. And it's actually the way P.D. Pablo comes in that song. Like he comes off so crazy. You're like, this might be trash. But the more you hear it, you're like, whoa, like he really just like put a whole lot of emotion into that moment.
You're a real Ludacris fan, huh?
Bruh, come on.
That's crazy.
Bruh, I have a whole list of music like that I loved growing up. And like
Bubba Sparks.
No.
Oh.
How
long did it take
Joe Budden
you?
was dope.
How long did it take you to accept like you couldn't get the afro like him?
Who?
Ludacris.
I kind of knew that was never going to happen.
I know he tried. I definitely know he tried.
I didn't try.
I ain't see it, but I know he tried.
I never tried that. Like I never played games with the hair. But wait, let me finish for him real quick.
Go ahead.
When you're doing a project, remember that there's gonna be a lot that you want to put in. Like at one point, Aura had 18 songs. 18, not including the 2 extra that I already knew was going on there. So it really had 20. So I sat down with those 18 songs. It was an hour and a half. And I was like, this is too long. Like, it's too much. It's too much of one idea.
Right.
So it's like when you're putting something together, you got to realize that having patience with your music and really, like, listening to yourself and what you're doing, you will find that some of those songs you thought were dope aren't that dope. They're not as good as this song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know how many songs I have that sound like South Poplar Street? But it was that. I've been chilling with the way that comes in, that's why that song made it. So like with season 2, what I'm realizing is I've kind of refined that process. Now I can make the songs that I really like faster. But even then, I'm still going to take this amount of time, a certain amount of time to wait on it and see if in 6 months I'm still like, okay, that song's there.
Right.
And shout out, I'm working on a project with my man's over here. My
BA.
man's Ivano. We're working on a whole different thing.
For sure.
Word.
But yeah, that's just take your time, bro. Have patience with your own music and art because like, especially for people that are younger, like under 21, under 18, like Aidens, like the Aidens. I call them the Aidens. There's 3 of them. There's Type 1. There's Noble Rain. And there's, what's the other one? Damn, he going to be mad. But they're all super young. They're all just brand new to the scene. And they're all SoundCloud artists. They all like love, they use SoundCloud. And like those guys, that's all I ever tell them is, bro, take your time. Like this whole like need to put out product, I get it. But maybe focus that somewhere else.
Right. Like
make your music and then actually go and promote yourself. Like create ads and learn Photoshop and learn things that like help supplement the vision. Because I think a lot of aura that makes it a complete thought is that while I'm doing all this other stuff with the music, I'm coming to Goodie like, hey, I've got this idea for the video. Let's think this out. And it takes a couple weeks to figure that out. And then it's like I'm going on Photoshop and I'm like, all right, cutting this together with the cover art and doing this and doing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a full like machine behind a product. And like you got to think albums are a product. So how would you make something you want to sell? You know, if you're making lemonade, you don't want to make lemonade that's trash. You want to take a little time. You know, like unless you just don't give a fuck and just want to make as much lemonade as you can, which does work for some people. Russ. Wayne kind of just threw shit at us until we. Did you say Russ?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, just take your time with it, bro. That's all it really is. Just take a lot of time with it, and then when you do start pushing it, you'll find that time you took really did mean something to people because people spend time on it.
Right.
My biggest gripe about my career as an artist is sober. I did not push it. I did a lot with sober. I pushed it very well, but I stopped. And I still think sober is one of the best songs I've ever done. Not to mention Brice. Brice fucking destroyed that song.
Destroyed it, yeah.
You said what? He ate me on it?
What?
Dang.
Who said that?
At least I get the little hook part before he comes in so I can put the mic down and scream. You know, so I be setting that. But no, like sober, I look back at sober and I'm like, damn, I still have to figure out ways to promote that better.
Right.
Because it's still a good song. And it's a song that, like, with all due respect to Athens don't fuck with the music. They say they fuck with the music,
It's the
but
people,
like,
though.
yeah, they don't.
know.
They don't really like. They don't like Atlanta, bruh. Aura, we all talking about it. We like it. I have more streamers in Atlanta,
Let me see if I do too, because at one point it was.
but it's not a bad thing. Like, we know how this system works. We know how Athens works, which is why a lot of us get frustrated with the scene. Scrap God, thank you for putting on shows and,
Bro, you a
and
blessing.
really paying us. Like, we have frustrations with the scene.
My artists make way more money off my shows than I do.
Well, that's the thing, though, too. Like, I think we have frustrations with shows simply because, like, Athens kind of fosters a culture that, like, rappers don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? And, like, every rapper I know needs $1. And I don't mean that in a negative way.
Musicians do. If you're a musician, you're paying out the ass for your product.
Yeah, yeah.
And so many people don't understand that. They use entertainers as pawns to entertain people without entertaining
was
the
like
business
last one,
side of
yeah,
it, for sure.
Look at your last one. Click that.
Well, guys,
Go down.
I believe that'll be our time.
We've talked for a while.
Right. Thank you,
talk
Pastor
some
Trvy.
sense,
I really appreciate that
Right.
monologue.
Damn, you hot in Spanish, bruh.
And it's
Chile?
weird, bro.
You got fans in Spain?
No, Chile.
I got fans in
In a
Santiago.
city in Chile, he's got.
380.
Look, okay, so look at this though. He's got a whole bunch in one city. In Athens, he only has 2 more streamers than Atlanta. So that means that, like, even though Blanco, we all know Blanco, like everyone in the Athens scene from our part of the scene, they all know Blanco. But in the last month, more people in Atlanta, or almost as many people in Atlanta, are supporting his
I
music.
think rappers, especially rappers in Athens, need to, like, get over the stigma that they have to be a hometown hero. That, like, oh, if I don't have fans in my city, then, you know, I'm not going to have fans, man. That's not true. I mean,
That's not to be confused with helping your city. Like,
Yeah, like,
you can
Yeah.
go get money
You can do
somewhere
all
else
that
and
shit.
bring it back home.
not even. It's like you can make music and you can do shows in your city and have
Damn, we
streamers
canceled.
They suck anyway, though.
in other places, and it's okay. Like,
I
that's
think,
fine.
and a big part
They
of
ain't
it
get shows
is
outside their city, though. They ain't even get shows in their city.
But that's the thing, though.
that
Like,
and part of the problem is you can be a part of the movement and get farther than having to be the start of the movement.
Right.
Like, too many
that.
people are taking ideas already there and branching off with it and running with it to go do their own thing, when if we all just did it together, we'd get a lot farther than restarting every time.
Shout out to whichever one of y'all about to start doing yard sessions. Just name it the same thing.
Go ahead, plug yourself, Kxng Blanco. What do you want to plug? Plug whatever you want.
But I'm finna say a prime example of that is LB.
LB.
Like, how long ago since she
I don't know. I just know.
I don't know.
that
She kind of
LB's
just popped
fire.
up and, like, she was
and
five.
was in that, and
she got
was
dancers and shit. That's just crazy.
like, you on Alfest and listen to you out here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
that you got to think, man. Politics is real. Like, I mean, I you know me,
I
bro.
can't
I
speak
hate
on
this.
this subject.
hard,
I'll
though.
get
I hate
canceled
this.
real
I
fucking
don't want to get
fast.
canceled. I love
I'm saying it in a
everyone.
good way, though.
I love everyone that supports everyone in Athens, and I
Right.
love all the Athens artists. But there is a problem when it comes to the way popularity works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't complaining.
Too many circle jerks in Athens.
Damn, there she goes. But you see what I'm saying? Like, bro, you deserve. Let's just call it what we call it, bro. My ego aside, you deserve, as someone from here and who has the stage presence and the show that you've put on for years, the city should be behind you. And there's so many people that say they're behind you, but they don't push you. They don't support you. Like, people know us. People don't know me and you behind the scenes. Like me and you talk. We just be chilling, you
Right.
know, speaking to each other.
Right.
And it's like, that's my way of supporting and sharing you, you know, shit like that.
Right.
But, like, people will come to you and be like, yo, Blanco, you hard. Like you really gonna make it. But then they don't ever even share you. And then they talk about how Athens hip hop needs to be more together and shit like
Right.
that. And they've got a bigger platform than you. But, like, they're not for the
We
city,
gotta
bro.
let Goodie
They be like,
end
man,
this before we
Sleazy's
all
so
get
fire.
canceled
Yeah, you right.
permanently.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
getting
gonna
canceled.
This is
Listen,
We're
dangerous.
already
if
canceled.
y'all want to cancel me, just know, thank y'all for getting me to 10K, because hopefully I get there before y'all cancel me.
Well, guys, thank you for another installment of Trvy and Friends.
Shout out me, dog.
This is Trevor's show.
He's gonna cut me out like so much.
Yeah, you're getting replaced.
You should just put this
You're
at the
getting
beginning
replaced ASAP.
and then cut all of my words out.
Kxng Blanco, man, I appreciate you coming out here, man. I really
thank
do.
y'all, bro.
You're
Y'all
our
fam.
second guest. We're trying to make this a big thing. We're trying to get better with every single episode. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come out here and fuck with us.
Oh, playing Madden, bro. Stop playing.
Blanco said anyone that wants to come to the podcast and argue with him, he's down.
Let's go.
Facts. Go ahead, plug yourself. You got shows coming up. What's going on?
Ooh, let me
Bring
see
out
what
the
I
schedule.
got
Like I
going
said,
for
the
me.
busy
Handy dandy
schedule.
He
notebook.
said Trevy and friends. Though.
Trevy
what I
and
said.
Friends.
Hello.
We got to cut the whole Athens rap
Dang,
segment
man.
out this.
Bro, I got a lot
I
going
love
on.
Athens, bro.
Okay,
but
so
fucking
We got
September
Show.
3rd, Motorhead,
everybody.
2 times release party.
okay.
September 13th, I think, is Village Meeting 3. September 20th, I'm going to Pensacola for the pop-up shop show. Then I'm coming back September 21st to do rap.
Shout out, Kenny.
Mike.
That's your event.
That's Cat's event. I'm sorry, bro.
But that's your-
so much.
Bet,
so much
I got
going
you.
on. And then, dang, bro.
Your whole September lit.
Look, bro, my whole September lit. We got
What's
Scrap
your
Stock in
IG?
October. Follow me on Instagram, Kxng Blanco, Kxng Blanco. If you're a girl, drop the little slob emoji under these supermodel pics that's gonna be on my Instagram when you go on there. If you're a dude, put your girl onto my music because it's 22% on Spotify for females. This ain't cutting it, bro. Like, why is y'all listening to Chrissy? Anyway, well, this is the end of Blanco and Friends. We out here.
Blanco and friends, we out of here. Love y'all.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get through this together. Yeah. Free set, free aim. RIP Ralph. On gang.